Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. Hello everybody, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know guys. Good evening everybody, good evening, good evening. I hope that I'm live right now guys. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know guys. Hi, Nicole. Don't worry, guys. For tomorrow's class, there will be a new timing for you guys. Okay, the backend bootcamp will be from 7 to 8:30, but for the front end bootcamp, we'll be having the bootcamp a little bit early. We'll be having it from 6 to 7. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, we will try our very best so that you guys are not facing any kinds of problem at any point of time. Okay. My voice might not sound good today. Okay. Uh, it never sounds good anyway. So I hope that it would be okay for you guys as well. Okay. सर आप सेव कैसे करते हैं कोड सो कंट्रोल एस यू could do that and that would be it for you. Okay. How to do the final registration? The message will come to you, Dark Knight, about the final registration, or somebody from DevTown will be calling you for that, and that would be it. Okay, you just have to follow what they have done. Okay. Today is the last day. No, Mukesh Kumar. Today is not the last day. Today is the second last day. Okay, tomorrow we'll be having the class at 6 o'clock, guys. Please try to remember this. Okay, tomorrow the class will be at 6 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, 6 to 7. Tomorrow the class will be there. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. 6 in the evening itself, guys. 6 in the evening. Okay. So we'll be having the project tomorrow. Today we'll be starting. So today our main goal is two things. Okay. First of all, we'll be starting out with React. We'll try to understand React. We'll start a small code in React just to make sure that we have done some practical as well today. Okay. Once we have done that, the second half, we will be talking about what to do after this bootcamp. Okay. So for me, it's why do I take these bootcamp is very important for you guys to know. What I feel is there is a lack of awareness. So, for example, right now, that you want to get into an NIT, you want to get into an IIT, you know the exact process to follow. You know, you have to do physics, chemistry, maths. You have to give a JEE mains examination. You know the pattern for the examination as well. If you want to aim for an IIT, you have to give a JEE advanced examination. You know the pattern for that as well. What type of questions will be asked, how hard those questions will be. Okay, so you know exactly what you have to do. You will never be like, if you are planning to go into an NIT, IIT, or for example a bits like me, so you know exactly what you have to do. You will never be learning like quantum physics or quantum mechanics when you are in 11th 12th, because you know that okay, you have to focus only on physics, chemistry, maths, and that is how you will be able to get through by passing these examinations and get into these colleges. The same thing also happens for the companies as well, whether it be Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Samsung, Geo, any other company that you are planning to go get into. Okay, so they also have a syllabus, they also have a examination, they also have a method that you have to follow to get into these companies. It's not that only like there is some bright person who is like super intelligent and only he is able to get into these companies. It's not like that. Anybody who's like willing to put in the hard work will be able to get into these companies. So I will be telling you guys about that syllabus and everything as well, that what should you focus upon, how you should be preparing for any sort of companies, whether it be a startup, whether it be a big firm. Okay, so we will be trying to do both of these today. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. No issues in that, Rishiraj. If you are missing out in tomorrow's class, you still have up till 12 midnight to watch the class and update your attendance, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Has that question, sir? I use the same ID on two different tags and they are working quite fine. You said we can only use one ID only once on a tag. See, that's true, it will work, but when you are working on a larger project, it might lead into some complications and like things won't be working on your website. That is the reason why, see, there are some conventions that you need to follow. These are not hardbound rules that you will get an error for, because these browsers have become smart. So even if you make some small errors like using an ID twice, they handle it for you. But when you are working on a very huge project, so for example, when you will be looking at the React thing that you will be looking at today and tomorrow, you'll be able to see that every single button, every single thing that exists on any website is actually a component, and each component has its own HTML, CSS and JavaScript files. So you will be able to realize how huge a project might be. So due to that reason, when different things come together at that point of time, you will find errors in your code and your website won't work properly. You won't be able to apply some changes in CSS that you might be able to do previously. That's a convention, okay, not a rule. Yes, Manmohan Dal, you get the Microsoft Student Ambassador certificate in this boot camp. Sparsh Maheshwari is uploading the certificate on LinkedIn. It's asking for credential ID. What do we have to enter there? So you will be receiving the certificates. There will be a QR code at the bottom of it. You're scanning it. It will open up the verification of that particular certificate. Okay. The ID will be right over there. You can check it from there itself. Okay. Okay, so are you guys able to understand everything up till here? So let me just remind you guys that tomorrow the class will be from 6 to 7. Okay, there is some issues with the network, I suppose. I think so. Right now, the video should be absolutely fine. There shouldn't be any problems right now. Right now, I think so. There shouldn't be any problems. Please do let me know. All good right now, guys. Please do let me know. Okay, so shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know, guys. Shall we start with our today's class, guys? Please do let me know. Okay, great. So let's get started right away. Let me open up. First of all, let's try to understand React. Okay, let's first, because you guys are learning React for the very first time. So some theoretical knowledge is also something that needs to be imparted to you guys. Okay, so you can think about React. So while creating websites, let's first look at some website. Okay, let's look at Instagram right now. Instagram and Airbnb. Let's look at these two examples. We open up Instagram and Airbnb. Along the same, let me just open up the live chat on my mobile phone so that I'm able to see your chats as well. Give me a second, guys. Okay, so I've opened up the live chat as well. Now, for example, when you are looking at a website like Airbnb, okay, is there something that you are able to see that is kind of repeated in this particular website? Guys, can you see something that is kind of repeated right over here on the website itself? Can you guys see something that is repeated on the website itself? Please let me know. Guys, are you able to see something that is repeated on the website itself? Yes. So as you're able to see right over here, each of these cards, okay, each of these cards is something that is, it just keeps on repeating again and again. So each of these cards contain some images, a carousel of images, a like button on the top right corner, the name of the place, the country, where is it, okay, the number of stars that is has, that is its rating. It has the distance that you are currently from, like how many miles or kilometers away are you from its place of origin, the dates that it is available right now, and the cost per night. Each of this information, although the information is changing in each of these cards, but still the layout is still the same. Each of these cards is called as a component. So Airbnb, the website, is built in React.js along with Instagram as well. Instagram is also built in React.js. So you are easily able to see that these are getting repeated again and again. While working with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, what you had to do is that you will have to create each of these cards separately. You will have to write the code of each of these cards separately itself. And that is not something that you want to do. You don't want to write the code again and again. And as you're able to see that there's thousands and thousands of different cards that are there, your code will become so big. You don't want to do that at the end of the day. But using the components in React.js, what it is basically you create one of these cards, you write the code for one of these, just like functions. Think about functions, okay? You have a piece of code that you want to do again and again. So you put some code, you bundled some code together into a function, and then every time that you wanted to use the like code itself, you just call the function. You don't write the code again. The same goes on with these components as well. These components are once created and named as a component itself. The next time you want to use that component, you just use the name of the component. You don't have to write the code again and again. And the benefit of using these components is that each of these components have its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so instead of having like one HTML page for the entire website, one CSS page for the entire website, one JavaScript page for the entire website, instead of doing that, okay, instead of doing all this, each of these components have its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, why does this make it better? Okay, why does this having small files for everything, for every single thing that exists on your website is better rather than to create an entire website using just HTML and CSS? So you will be able to see when you're going to Instagram, before, like I'm talking about when there was Facebook back in the day. Okay, you guys are using the latest versions of Facebook, the latest versions of Instagram itself, but before it was present. Okay, so every time you wanted to check up that, okay, do you have any messages or do you have any follow requests or something, you would have to reload the entire page. Okay, you will have to reload the entire page, so that so there's something called as the server, the backend that basically there. So you will be joining the backend bootcamp from tomorrow onwards, so you'll be learning about backend right over there. But what happens is that your website needs to communicate with the backend to be able to get the idea that, okay, somebody is requesting to follow you or somebody has messaged you. In the early days, when there was just HTML and CSS, there was no components, there was no React.js. At that point of time, you would have to, so in order for your website to be able to communicate with the backend, you would have to refresh the entire page so that it can check whether any updates have happened or not. Okay, but right now, because each of these symbols, as you're able to see, the home symbol, the messaging symbol, the create a reel symbol, the search symbol, the heart symbol, each of them is its very own component with its very own HTML, CSS and JavaScript files. And each of these components are in constant talk with the backend, and constant, so they are continuously taking up updates individually. So even though without refreshing your website, talk to the browser, without, you don't have to refresh your entire website, so that they are able to communicate with the backend. Each of these components as a single piece is able to directly communicate with the backend, and any kind of update is happening, it is able to show you these notifications. It is able to show you these notifications right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. I think so. Now the video should be fine, guys. I think so. The video should be fine, guys, right now. Please do let me know. I think so. The video should be fine, guys. Please do let me know. Hey guys, I think so. The video should be fine right now. There shouldn't be any buffering of any kind. Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Is it still lagging? I think so. It should be fine right now, guys. Okay, so no issues in that. Let me just rewind this once again. So, what was the last thing that you were able to hear? What was the last thing that you were able to hear, guys? Can you guys let me know? Can you guys let me know what was the last thing that you were able to hear? Okay, so for example, in the early days, in the old websites, okay, that was, they didn't had this concept of components. Okay, so for anything to happen, any update to happen to your website, you would have to refresh your page, okay, so that it is able to talk to the backend. Okay, so that it is able to talk to the backend, and once it is able to talk to the backend, only then it will be able to show you the updates. So every time you'll have to refresh the entire page. Right now, in the case of components itself, each of these symbols that you are able to see on the top right, the home symbol, the message symbol, the create a reel symbol, the heart symbol, all these are individual components. Okay, this entire website is built in React. All these are individual components with its very own HTML, CSS and JavaScript code itself, with its very own files. So it is able to, it is in constant talk with the backend. Each of these components is in constant talk with the backend. If any kind of update is happening, it is just updating that component. Instead of reloading the page, instead of refreshing the entire page, okay, it is just reloading, it is just refreshing that particular component itself. So that is the reason you are able to see these notifications right now in real time. That is a boon of React. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. So you will be looking at Rishikesh about that particular question, that what is the difference between React JS, JavaScript and vanilla JavaScript in today's class. Don't worry about it. Just be patient. Okay. So for example, another thing that is there. So now, for example, in this particular website, that this particular layout, as you're able to see, the components that have been distributed. Okay, for example, let me just take up a snippet from right over here. Okay. So the snippet that you are able to see, okay, on your screen, I'm just going to utilize it so that you guys are able to see everything properly. Okay, so for example, this will be treated as one component. Okay, inside of it you will be having one component right over here, one component right over here, one component right over here. Inside of that as well you will be having another component. Okay, you will be having another component inside of this. So what, this will be one component, this will be one component, one and one. So this is how like the entire thing will be distributed. Okay, the next thing that is there is right over here. Okay, if you are keeping, this will be one component, this will be one component on the top right corner. This entire thing, okay, this entire piece of thing, that is the continuous posts that are there, that will be one component on its own. Okay, for example, if I'm going down below, so if I'm just making this smaller a bit, that you are able to see multiple posts right over here. So this entire rectangle that you are able to see, this entire thing where all the posts are coming up, that will be a single component. Okay, that will be a single component right over there. Okay, if I'm zooming in a bit, each of these cards that are there, okay, that will be another component that contains the posts, the likes, the comments inside of it. So that will be a component right over there. Okay, so you will have multiple components that are there. Now the benefit of this is, again, like I said, they are in constant talk with the backend. So you don't, so for example, if you want to see more posts, if I'm just scrolling down below and below, there will be a point where there will be no more posts and it will start reloading the post itself. As you're able to see, it is trying to reload more posts. Did you see that at the very end? Okay, did you see that at the very end? It tried to reload. So if I'm going down below, the number of posts are getting over. It's trying to reload it. Okay, so not the entire web page gets reloaded. Only this component gets reloaded to add more posts to it. Only this component gets reloaded to add more posts to it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. So these are some of the advantages of using React.js. Okay, one more thing. So now how are these components getting reloaded and all those kind of stuff? For that, we need to understand the DOM tree. Okay, for that, we need to understand what is DOM and virtual DOM. Okay, so let us go back to our drawing board. So we learned about the tree-like structure. Do you guys remember that HTML can be represented as a tree-like hierarchy itself? Do you guys remember that? Please do let me know. Do you guys remember that? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, so just try to understand this, that tree-like structure is what we call as DOM, or document object model. Okay, that is something that we call as document object model. Okay, so just the only difference between the two is so when we started out on the top, we said that it is HTML. Okay, if you guys remember, the top one, we said that it is HTML, and then you are having your head and the body tag inside of it, and so on and so forth. Okay, in document object model, you start out with the word document on the top. That refers to the entire file that is there, the entire HTML file, that is referred to as a document. Okay, so in DOM, we start out at the starting node as document, and then you are having a HTML, then head, and then body, and then the entire tree like structure. Okay, so that is your document object model. That is the full form of DOM tree. Okay, you refer it to as DOM tree. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Great. So now, what happens in the early days when you were having the normal DOM tree? That is called as the real DOM. Okay, that is called as the real DOM in your early days when you were just using HTML, CSS. So what happened was that you were having your DOM tree such as this. That is document. Okay, then you are having your head inside. Sorry, HTML inside of it. Then you are having your head and the body tag. Okay, then you are having inside of the head tag, you're having your title tag. Then inside title, you're having some content. Inside the body tag, let's say that you are having a checkbox. Okay, you are having a checkbox checkbox right over here. That looks something like this. Okay, this is how a checkbox looks like. I think so. You should be familiar with a checkbox, guys. Okay, are you guys familiar with checkbox? Please do let me know. Are you guys familiar with checkbox? Please do let me know, guys. Great. So there's a checkbox right over here. Now, if you are like checking it up or checking it, what happens is your DOM is getting like your DOM is changing. Okay. For example, right now the checkbox is checked. Okay. So it is like having a tick inside of it. Now you're unchecking it. So the new DOM that will be created. So let me just copy paste the entire thing. Control C, Control V. So this is the new DOM that will be created. The only difference between the two is that right over here, the checkbox will be unchecked. Okay, the only difference between the two DOM. Hello. Is my voice audible to you guys right now? Please do let me know, guys. Hey guys, is my voice audible right now? Please do let me know. So it's actually like it has rained pretty heavily in Bangalore for the past 3 days. I think so. Due to that, there is some network issues. Okay, so that is the reason why that it was lagging. But try to make sure that you guys are not having any problems due to that. Okay, just be patient for a little while. If that's the case that I'm not able to take up like I'm not able to get the network at any point of time, I will just let you guys know that we'll be having the class tomorrow as well at 6 to 7. So if the class is not, we are not able to do the class today, we'll just extend the number of days. Okay, we'll take it to 8 days itself. So you don't have to worry about it. We'll have 2 more days of classes. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay. Okay, so right over here, so we were discussing about the DOM tree. Okay, so even a small change in the DOM, okay, even a small change like unchecking a checkbox, you'd have to refresh the entire DOM tree. The DOM tree needed to be refreshed entirely. All the components of like all the small tags that are there of on the website, all of them needs to be refreshed. Nimit Sharma, what is a checkbox? How can I explain? A checkbox is like, guys, can somebody explain to him what is a checkbox? Just search for it, Nimit. Okay, what is a checkbox? You must have used it like thousands of times in your entire life. I think so. You just don't know the name. Okay, it's like a small button that is there. That if you are checking it up, it makes a tick inside of it. If you're unchecking it, it remains blank. Okay, so that is how a checkbox works. But still, just like Google it, you will be able to see some images, so you will be able to understand what is a checkbox. Okay. Okay, so that is what I was saying right over here. Okay, you are having your DOM tree that needs to be entirely refreshed every time any change is happening. So that is where the concepts of a virtual DOM came into place that exists in React. That is the reason why these components are able to talk to the backend directly. Okay, so what is this virtual DOM? Okay, so right over here, let's treat this as the real DOM. Okay, let's treat the first DOM as the real DOM. Okay, DOM is usually written in all caps. So just like write DOM in all caps. Okay, and then you are having this virtual DOM right over here. Now what happens inside of the real DOM and virtual DOM? Let's take up the fact that initially the so this is the initial condition. Okay, you are having your virtual DOM as well as your real DOM, and initially on your website your checkbox is checked. Okay, so both in your real DOM as well as in your virtual DOM, okay, both the boxes are checked. Okay, in your real DOM and your virtual DOM, both the boxes are checked. Okay, this virtual DOM is something that is like not a physical DOM, it is something that has been coded up inside of React. So the engineers at Facebook created React, so they are the people who have created this virtual DOM. You don't have to create it. This is how React works internally. This is what I'm trying to make you guys understand. This is the internal workings of React. So initially on your website the checkbox is checked. Okay, so in your real DOM as well as your coded DOM, that is your virtual DOM, both the checkbox are checked. Okay, so now when you're unchecking the checkbox, okay, when you're unchecking the checkbox right over here, so you come up, okay, and on your website and you uncheck, okay, and you uncheck the checkbox. So this unchecking of the checkbox happens in the real DOM. Okay, this unchecking of the checkbox happens in the real DOM. In the virtual DOM the box is still checked. Okay, in the virtual DOM the boxes is still checked. Okay, so what does React do is React will compare all the nodes. Okay, React will compare all the nodes that are there in these trees. Okay, on both the trees it will compare all the nodes. While comparing it, it will check, okay, so for the first one is document, both the documents are the same, there is no change between them. So it will move on to the next particular node. HTML, no changes, it's the same. Head and body, no changes, it's the same. Title tag, no changes, it's the same. Then it will come to the checkbox. It will see that, okay, so for the checkbox itself this is unchecked in the real DOM, whereas it is still checked in the virtual DOM. Okay, so this is a difference that is there. So instead of reloading the entire real DOM, instead of refreshing the entire real DOM, it will just replace the checkbox. Okay, so it will just refresh the checkbox itself. Okay, it will not refresh or re-render the entire virtual real DOM. It will not start from the top. You'll see that, okay, only this particular node has changed. Only this particular node has changed. So it will only be reloading and refreshing and re-rendering only that particular node. That is, it will allow it to contact the backend just once for only that particular node itself. So that is how, like, so refreshing the entire page takes up time, but just reloading a particular component takes up a lot less time. So your website also functions at a much more faster manner. Okay, the website also functions at a much more faster manner. So this concept of virtual DOM and real DOM is just theoretical. Okay, it has been implemented already in the React. When we'll be doing the practicals, you won't be seeing all this. This is how it works in the backend. What are the advantages of React? So this is one of the real advantages. Why it is fast? Why are the components able to talk to the bootcamp? How to the backend? How is it happening? So this is the process that is happening behind it. This is the brains behind the entire React. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. So it's as simple as that. You are having your real DOM, you are having your virtual DOM. That is a copy of the real DOM just in programming. Okay, so any kind of changes is happening in the real DOM. Okay, it happens in the real DOM. It is not reflected into the virtual DOM. React will then cross check both the DOMs. Okay, we'll see that, okay, is there any differences? Is there any updates that are happened? If there is any kind of change between the nodes, it will just refresh that node. It will just reload that node. Instead of reloading the entire real DOM, it will just reload that particular node itself. Okay, in that particular manner, these components are able to talk to the backend irrespective of what is happening on the website. Okay, Okay, if you have not understood real DOM and virtual DOM, do not worry about it. It's a conceptual thing itself. While we'll be doing like making the project or learning about React in a practical sense right now, it's fine if you are not able to understand this. Okay, but it's important as it's an important concept at the end of the day. Okay, because why React is better? Like, what is the process that is happening inside of React? There's something that you should be knowing. Okay. Yes, it can reload as many number of nodes as possible. Okay. Okay. So let's move on from right over here to coding itself. Okay. So we have learned a lot of React for today. Let's start with the coding aspect of it. Let's create a new sandbox. We'll select the React template. Okay. We'll select the React template right over here. So let's select the React template. It will just create our sandbox for us. This is what we are going to use for our coding itself. Okay. Once we have done that, what we are going to do is we are going to open the website on a new page itself. Okay. We will then close this up. We don't require it. We'll make this a bit smaller. We don't require app.js right over here, so we are going to delete it for right now. We are having our index.js right over here, styles.css, so that too will just shift to the public folder. Okay, so index.html and styles.css is there right over here. Inside of our index.html, let me just make it a bit bigger. Let me just this. Okay, and right over here there are two things that we need to change. Okay, I'm not able to see any kind of problems in the HTML file. Okay, so that's great. The HTML file is totally fine. There's no is the video still buffering, guys? Is the video still buffering, guys? No, it's not buffering. Okay, great. Okay, so right over here inside the index.html there is no problem, so we'll leave it as it is. Inside the source file, okay, inside the source folder you are having your index.js, and we will be utilizing that. So we'll just remove everything from this particular website as well. With this particular page, our index.js is also clean, our index.html is also clean, styles.css we can remain it as it is, we don't care about it. Okay, let's go back to our website, reload the page. So there is no issues right over here as well, everything is working fine. Okay, so right now what we are going to do is all our code that we are going to write related to the initial part of React.js is going to go inside of this index.js file. Okay, it is going to go inside of this index.js file. Okay, the second thing that you guys need to remember is that these are the, so inside of this particular folder you will be able to see that the template that we have created right over here, let me just show it to you guys. So this is the template that is there, and these are the dependencies. So there are 3 dependencies that have been, is the video still lagging, guys? Please do let me know. I don't think so, the video should be lagging right now. Was the video lagging? Okay, no issues in that. So as you're able to see, there are some dependencies that has been already installed by our code sandbox for our use. That is React, React DOM, and React scripts. We are not going to utilize React scripts. We're going to utilize React and React DOM for our loading process. We will learn about both of them. So React DOM is basically your virtual DOM system and everything that exists inside of React DOM, and React is the package that we are going to utilize. We'll learn why are they important for our code once we proceed further with it. For right now, just try to understand that that is what we are going to utilize, and that has been already installed for us. The second thing that you guys need to remember is React is a library. Okay, it is also referred to as a framework, but officially, okay, technically, if you are like you want to be technically correct when you're speaking, so React is a library. It's a JavaScript library. Now what is a library? A library has a lot of books inside of it. You want any kind of knowledge, you get into a library, you pick up a book, you open it up, and you start reading. Okay, that is how a library functions and a library works. The same thing happens with React as well. When you're building a website, you need a virtual DOM, you need a real DOM, you need to have components and all these kind of stuff that you need to have. So somebody has already written all these functions, all these books, all these pieces of code that help you do that easily, to help you like provide you all the tools to be able to create the front end of a website easily. And that is what React is. React has been made by Facebook. It has been open sourced, and then people have added a lot many number of tools inside of it, not many number of functions inside of it that you can use at any point of time. Okay, you can use at any point of time to be able to create the front end of a website. Okay, so that is what React is. React is a library, but people also tend to refer to it as a framework. Okay, so there's no issues in that, but if you want to be technically correct at any point of time, if anybody is asking you, always say that React is a JavaScript library. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. So for understanding framework, you will have to attend the backend web development bootcamp. There we'll be dealing with a framework itself. So you will be easily able to compare both of them and understand their differences. Okay. Right now you need to understand React is a library. Okay. Okay. So the second thing that we need to start is, let's start with the code itself. Okay. So okay, so let me just open up the live chat, and let's start with writing the code for React, like a simple website that we are going to create. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a website that says, "Hi, my name is Shaurya," using React. Okay, to be able to do that, we have two of the like dependencies already installed for us, that is React and React DOM. Now these are installed in your system. Okay, this is installed as a software into your system itself. You need to tell JavaScript that you are going to utilize that. Okay, you are going to tell JavaScript that I'm going to utilize this software, I'm going to utilize this particular dependency. The code for that is extremely simple. Var, we are going to create a variable called as React is equals to require. Okay, require, then parenthesis React. Okay, so you're basically telling JavaScript that you want to require, okay, this particular code that you're writing, this particular piece of code that you're writing requires the React dependency that you have already installed. Okay, so this is the first line of code. The same thing we need to do it for React DOM as well. So var React DOM is equals to wire React hyphen DOM. Okay, so please take care of these like spelling mistakes and everything. These dependency names needs to be the exact as the name of the dependency. You can check the name of the dependency by going to the files, scrolling down below. You will be able to see the exact name of the dependencies that are there. Okay, so please try to make sure that the dependency spelling is the absolute correct. Now that you have required that, you have said that okay, these two dependencies we are going to utilize in our code, you have required that in your code. Now you can start writing your React code itself. Okay, so for doing that we'll be utilizing the React DOM. So do you guys understand what is the meaning of the word render in normal English? Do you guys understand what is the meaning of the word render in normal English, guys? Do you guys understand the meaning of the word render in normal English? Okay, let's just search for it. Meaning of render. Okay, so as you're able to see, to cause or to become or to make, provide or give a service. Okay, so let's see the definitions in computing. Process using images and shading in order to make it appear solid or three-dimensional. So you render things. Okay, you put something up on a website, so you're rendering a particular thing on a website to make. Okay, basically the thing is to load or to make at the end of the day. Okay, to load or to you are loading, you are rendering. Okay, or to make, you are rendering to make something. Okay, so that is the meaning of the word render. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to render a component, we are going to render a piece of code onto our website. Okay, we are going to render an HTML tag. Okay, that is the h1 tag. So we want to create, hi, my name is Shaurya, on our website. The h1 tag, that is, we want to render that on our website. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? We want to render that on our website. Are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to say? If you want to render the h1 tag onto our website, are you guys able to understand that? Please do let me know. Okay, so to be able to do that, we are going to require the React DOM dependency. Okay, we are going to require the React DOM dependency. So we are going to write React DOM dot render. Okay, because we want to utilize the real DOM as well as the virtual DOM in order to render a particular tag to our website. Okay, that is what we want to do. Okay, so the render takes in two attributes right now. Okay, what to render and where to render. These are the two things that it requires. Okay, what to render and where to render. Okay, so what to render, we know that we want to render the h1 tag that says, hi, my name is Shaurya. Okay, this is what we want to render. Okay, this is the tag that we want to render to our website. So we know that the first particular attribute that it takes in, that is what to render, is the h1 tag that basically says that, hi, my name is Shaurya. Okay, this is what it takes in. Okay, React DOM.render, hi, my name is Shaurya. That is the h1 tag. That is what we want to render. That is the thing that we want to put up on our website itself. Okay, so what about where to render? Where do we want this h1 tag to appear as? Okay, where do we want this h1 tag to appear? So let's go back to our index.html page. If you will be scrolling down below, you'll be able to see a div tag. You'll be able to see a div tag with the ID of root. Okay, are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know, guys. You guys able to see this div tag having the ID of root? Okay, so where do we want to render the h1 tag? Inside of this div tag. I want to render the h1 tag inside of this div tag using React.js. Okay, so I need to get the access to this div tag. Okay, I need to get the access to this particular div tag right over here. Okay, so what to render? We already know the h1 tag. Okay, where to render, how will we say? Okay, that's a good question, Vanisha Soni. How we will say that, okay, I need to render it inside that particular div tag? Okay, for that we will use something that is like the script for accessing the DOM. Okay, we need to write a script to be able to access the DOM tree itself. Okay, to get access to the DOM tree, if you remember, what is the starting node of the DOM? Can you guys let me know what is the starting node of the DOM, guys? Can you guys let me know the DOM tree? What is the starting node of the DOM? Document. Okay, that's amazing, guys. We need to, like, the starting node of the DOM was document, so we'll start by writing document though. So that particular file, if you guys remember, I told you guys that that particular file is referred to as document. Okay, and we want to get the access to the div tag that has an ID of root. Okay, we want to get the access of a div tag that has the ID of root inside of that document. So first of all, we know the name, so document. Okay, so we'll be writing, let me just take this to the next line so that you guys are able to see this clearly. Document dot, okay, so document is the name of that particular file. We want to get the element that has the ID of root. Okay, what do we want? We want to get the element from this particular document. We want to get an element that has the ID of root. Okay, so document dot get element by ID. Okay, and what is the ID? Root. Okay, that is how you will be able to get the div tag. That is how you will be able to select the div tag. What we wanted from the document, we wanted the element that had the ID of root. The code for that is very simple. Document dot get element by ID. Get the element that has the ID of root. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand? Please do let me know, guys. This is very simple, guys. Very simple. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? That is the reason why we learned about IDs and classes in the starting, so that you are able to understand it right away here. Okay, so, and then we learned about DOM. So like I said, every single thing that I'm teaching, that is the reason why I'm teaching it. It will come at a later point of time. If you have not focused in the previous classes, you won't be able to understand right over here. Okay, so if you have not focused upon the previous classes, you have skipped what I've taught at that point of time, you will not be able to understand it right over here. Okay. Okay, great. So now this is what we have written right over here. React DOM dot render document dot get element by ID, that is root, and we have got this right over here. So where to render, we have done that, that is root, that is the div tag. Okay, what to render, the h1 tag. Okay, let's save this right over here. Okay, we are going to save this right over here. We are going to go back to our website. Okay, we're going to go back to our website and reload the page. As you're able to see, we are getting, hi, my name is Shaurya. Now, this is not something that you have done on the like HTML page. This is not something that you have done, like you have not coded it in the HTML page. This is everything that you have done using React.js. This is something that you have done using React.js right over here. It's not something that you have done inside your HTML page. Okay, so this is one of the first examples, a very small example of React. Okay, now let's try to understand something. Let's try to understand something right over here. Okay, so can you spot any problem with this JavaScript file? Can you spot a problem inside of this particular JavaScript file, guys? Can you guys let me know? Guys, can you let me know? Can you spot a problem with this particular file? Okay, so this is a JavaScript file, guys. Okay, this is a JavaScript file right over here. Can you spot a problem that is there with this particular file? Like, what according to you is like, dude, this does not seem right at the end of the day? Can you guys let me know? Just think about it. Just if you're not able to like get anything, you're not able to spot any kind of like problem with this. Okay. Okay, let me let you guys know. Okay, the problem that I am able to spot with this particular file is that as a normal human being, I'm seeing that okay, this is a JavaScript file. Okay, this is a JavaScript piece of code. It should be a JavaScript piece of code. Then why the fuck is an HTML piece of code present inside the JavaScript? Okay, this shouldn't be the case. This shouldn't be the case. This shouldn't be happening. You should not be able to put up an HTML piece of code directly into your JavaScript file. Okay, this is a JavaScript file. Okay, it should contain only JavaScript inside of it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. You should not be able to put up HTML. That is not JavaScript. You should not be able to put up HTML inside of your JavaScript piece of code. Okay. Are you guys able to understand it? Please let me know, guys. But we are still able to do it. Why is that the case? This is where the concept of JSX comes into place. Okay, a JavaScript XML. Okay, this is not pure. So what you are thinking about is a vanilla JavaScript code. It is a vanilla JavaScript code. That is a language that uses purely JavaScript and nothing else. What you have written right over here is a combination of JavaScript and HTML. Okay, and that is called as JSX code or JavaScript XML code. That is what you are writing right over here. This is not pure vanilla JavaScript. This is JSX code. Now, your compile, so you are able to, so React, okay, this particular dependency that you have installed right over here, one of the biggest features of this particular dependency is a compiler. It is called as Babel. Okay, this React dependency contains a compiler that is Babel, and Babel is what is like the compiler that is compiling this simple plain, sorry, this JSX code into vanilla JavaScript so that it is able to run without your var React is going to require React. Without Babel, Babel is a compiler that is present in this particular dependency, in the React dependency, in the React software that you have like downloaded and installed in your PC. It contains a Babel compiler, and that Babel compiler is compiling this entire JSX code that contains HTML and JavaScript into a pure vanilla JavaScript code that you are able to run. Now, why are we not writing the direct? Why are we requiring that? Okay, why are we writing a JSX code? If that is compiling it down to JavaScript itself and the code is running in JavaScript at a later point of time, why are we directly not writing this code in JavaScript? Are you guys able to understand what I'm saying? Are you guys able to understand what I'm trying to say? Like, if this Babel is compiling this JSX down into vanilla JavaScript, into normal JavaScript itself, why are we not writing our code directly into vanilla JavaScript? Why are we writing it in JSX? So let's see this. Okay, so these two lines of code is basically vanilla JavaScript itself. We'll be changing into JSX by using import statement. That's the latest version of JavaScript that is there. Don't worry about it. But let's come, like, let's, so this is a JSX code. Let's write the exact same thing using just JavaScript. Okay, let's write the exact same thing using just JavaScript. This will be compiled down to the code that I'm going to write right now. You don't need to understand the code. This code that I'm writing right now, you don't need to understand it. This is just to make sure that I've shown you what it is getting compiled down to. You don't really need to understand the code that I'm writing right now, guys. Okay, so let me write this code down for you guys so that you are able to see it. Okay, so you don't need to understand this code, otherwise if you are able to understand it, that's great. Okay, but you don't need to understand it. So the exact code that you, so if I am saving this particular lines of code, okay, if I'm saving this particular lines of code right over here, going back to my website, you are able to see that we are getting two hi, my name is Shaurya rendered on our screen. The first one was using JSX, and the second one is using just JavaScript, okay, just vanilla JavaScript. So Babel is basically compiling your this is one line of code, okay, this is just one line of code into something so complicated, right over here. These are like do the exact same thing in vanilla JavaScript. It takes us three lines of code, okay, it takes us three lines of code, not too complex code, not simple. Okay, so that is the benefit of using JSX. You are familiar with HTML? Yes. You are familiar with JavaScript? Yes. So just utilize both of them together to write simplistic code that is possible. Instead of doing so, at the end of the day, Babel is going to compile this entire thing down to these three lines of code itself, and then it is going to run it. Okay, but still writing these thing in just JSX is much more simpler than to use vanilla JavaScript directly. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand why are we utilizing JSX right over here? You don't require to understand these three lines of code. This is not something that I want you to understand. Just I wanted you to see the difference. Okay, I just wanted you to see the difference that is there. Although both of the code is the exact same thing, both of the code does the exact same thing. It is just one version of that particular code, but it is so simple to directly use JSX when compared to vanilla JavaScript. Okay, great. Okay, so that is the reason why we are utilizing React, and it contains Babel, and we will be writing most of our code. Almost every single line of code that we'll be writing will be in JSX itself. Okay. The second thing that I wanted you guys to know is that this is the older version of JavaScript. Okay. According to the newest version of JavaScript, you could use the import statements. So instead of writing it like this, you could write it like this: import. Okay, you could write it like this: import React. Are you guys able to see my screen, guys? Please let me know. Are you guys able to see my screen, guys? Please let me know. Okay, so import React is equals to, just remove that from React. Okay, so you write the exact same thing as import. Both the sentence has the same meaning. Okay, the meaning hasn't changed, is that it looks much more cleaner. Okay, from React DOM. Okay, so in the other like languages as well, for example, if you're using Python or C++, so these are the import statements that are there. So JavaScript also copied it from Python and used it right over here. Okay, early on we used to do like var React is equals to require React and all those kind of stuff, but right now you could directly use these import statements because we are working with the latest version of JavaScript. Okay, it means the exact same thing. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Nimit Mishra, I've told about dependencies like 15 different times. Okay, like if you have not heard that, I will just repeat myself once again. Okay, so there are some packages that are there. Somebody has created, like I said, a library of code that is there. Okay, somebody has bundled it together into a software called as React. Now you will have to download that particular bundle. Okay, once you have downloaded it, it comes with all the code that is there. Okay, now your project dependency is an English word. Okay, that means you are dependent upon something. So your project, your code is dependent upon that particular library of code. Okay, that React that you downloaded from the internet, your code is dependent upon that particular package. Okay, so that is called as a dependency. Here React and React DOM is a dependency of your project. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, I don't think so the video should be lagging anymore. If your video is lagging, there is an issue with your internet. Okay, because I've made sure that my video would not be lagging anymore. Okay, so how many of you are still not able to understand anything? Okay, how many of you are still not able to understand anything that we taught today? How many of you are still not able to understand anything that we have taught today, guys? Please do let me know. How many of you are still not able to understand anything that we have talked today, guys? Please do let me know. See, right now I'm asking you, how many of you are still not able to understand anything that we have talked today? So I saw some of the comments that क्या बोल रहा है नहीं समझ में आ रहा. So how many of you are still not able to understand it? Okay, so those guys who are still not able to understand what we have studied today, okay, do one thing. Today we will be stopping the class right over here. I want you guys to watch the entire video again. Watch the entire fucking video again from the start. Only then come in tomorrow's class. Tomorrow I will not be entertaining any person with saying I'm not able to understand this. Okay, every topic we have covered it properly in the class itself. I've made you guys understood each and every line of code that exists. Okay, maybe due to some reason you are not looking at the phone itself, you're looking somewhere else. Okay, India ka match chal raha hai, you're watching that. Okay, or something like that. You're not focusing upon the class. Okay, or else the video started lagging in the middle. You're not able to get like that disturbance happened. You're not able to match. You're not able to connect the dots. Okay, everything I've explained in the class, every single topic that exists, that whatever we have coded today, whatever we have learned today, okay, those who have not understood a single topic itself, watch the entire video once again. Only then come up to the class tomorrow. Because tomorrow I won't be entertaining anything. Okay? Sir, route will be same for all these. So one more thing. Do not call me sir. Okay, call me Shaurya directly. I'm not sir or anything. Like my job is just like I don't want to be a teacher. Okay, just your friend. So you all guys can always call me Shaurya directly itself. Okay, second thing, will we be rendering everything inside of the root? Yes. So we will not be playing around with the HTML file anymore. Whatever we want to do, we'll make components and we'll put it up right over there. Okay. Okay, so now I will be showing you guys your attendance for today. Okay, give me a second to create your attendance. One more thing, guys. Most probably we will be extending the class by 1 day. Okay, so instead of having the class for 6 days, 7 days, we'll be having the class for 8 days. Okay, the class will be from 6 to 7 tomorrow. Okay, please guys, please confirm if you are able to understand this. Sorry to interrupt, sir. What should be the year of study in the form while registering for the backend web development bootcamp? As I'm in 11th. Mohammed, I think so you shouldn't be in this bootcamp. Okay, you are wasting your time right now. You are in 11th standard. You should be focusing much more upon your JEE mains and advanced. College is much more important. If you are not able to get into a good college, you have lost a big opportunity right over there. Okay, so according to me, Mohammed, this is the reason why I was ignoring it. This bootcamp is not for you. Okay, this bootcamp is for everybody who has crossed the 12th standard. Okay, it's not for you. Focus upon getting into a good college first of all. Okay, so instead of having the bootcamp for 7 days, we will be having the bootcamp for 8 days. Okay, So tomorrow will be the second last day itself. We will be starting with the project tomorrow. Okay, we'll be completing with the basics of React. So today we were not able to get into components. Tomorrow we'll be finishing off with components itself. We'll be getting into the project, and I think so it will take us one more day. So it will be 8 days. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, the timings of the classes will be from 6 to 7. Okay, timings of the classes will be from 6 to 7, guys. Anurag, is the wireless ended with Susie? So yeah, so if I'm dead at any point of time, okay, just know that it was Susie who did it. Okay. Those who have seen my today's story, they will be able to understand it. It's been more than 4 days. I received DevTown certificate, but not from Google and Microsoft. So when I'll receive it, Afan Ansari, the certificate that you have received is a certificate of appreciation. How can I give you the certificate without even completing the bootcamp? Are you a moron? I hope not. Apply IQ. Okay, if you don't have it, try to at least pretend that you have it. Okay. So again, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, there will be 2 classes. The classes will be from 6 to 7. Please remember this. Please be on time, guys. Okay. Mohammed, I've already answered your question. I'm not going to answer it again. Let me show you the QR code for today, guys. Give me a second. And yes, happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everyone, especially like if you're celebrating the festival. I hope that it's a great year for you guys as well. Okay. So the bootcamp will be for 8 days, not 7 days. First of all, 6 to 7 tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So please be ready for that, guys. Okay. The backend bootcamp will start from 7 o'clock tomorrow. That is the reason why we'll be having the front end bootcamp from 6 to 7. Okay. And those who want to connect with me, they can definitely do that on Instagram or LinkedIn, depending upon where you want to follow me, or connect with me, talk to me, anything. I'm always open up for a chat. And yeah, the link for the same is down in the description of the video as well. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. It was great to meet you guys once again. Shaurya, will you conduct a DSA bootcamp? So, Harpreet, I think so. At the end of this particular month, we will be having a C++ and data structures and algorithms bootcamp as well. That is my plan. So, we'll be having every month, we'll be having 2 bootcamps on web development, 2 bootcamps on data science, and 1 bootcamp on data structures and algorithms. That is my aim. So, let's make sure that this is happening, and along with that we are going to introduce blockchain boot camps as well as cybersecurity boot camps in the future. So let's see how that happens as well. So that will be something that we'll be testing it out. If students are really interested in these boot camps on blockchain and cybersecurity, we'll try to conduct more boot camps on other topics as well. Okay. And I'm extremely sorry about my poor voice. I have no clue what happened to me. Okay, but yeah, this is how it is sounding it like right now. Okay. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. We will meet tomorrow, and 6 to 7, 2 more days. I hope that you guys will be there and we'll have an amazing time. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Bootcamp on SQL. Okay, so sure, if like that's a demand, like we are actually planning to make a series on data structures and algorithms, DBMS, OS, computer networking, and all these topics. So we are currently like looking forward for great instructors for you guys to be able to do that. It will take us some time, but definitely like we are planning about it. So we will definitely try to make sure that we are delivering on it as well. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll meet tomorrow as well. Thank you. Thank you, guys.